So we are loaded in game 4 of this best of 5, currently 2-1 up to Happy. So let's introduce these two players spawning in the lower right position. We have the red Terran player from Team Empire ready to solidify his place as the winner of the first WCSEU qualifier. Both players have already advanced. It is from the Empire, it's Happy. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left position, the yellow Terran player from Team Millennium, desperate to level this out, I have no doubt of that, wanting to take it to Game 5. It's Dayshi.
All right. So it looks like a number of unknown people left at the start of this game. Maybe Battle.net was having a little bit of an error, but it seems to be okay. The players having a little bit of banter in the chat there. Dayshi actually building a supply depot not at the front. Of course, doesn't matter so much because it's more important to wall off against Zergs, but people tend to put the supply depots at the top of the ramp anyway, just so that they can see units potentially coming towards the base that little bit sooner. Not going to make a massive difference going into the mid-game, though. We have a gas being taken from both players now, so we could potentially see some Reaper action here in Game 4.
We could too, and it's a good map for Reapers. It's not a sensational map for them, but it's better than some. You can be quite aggressive, and of course Reaper on Reaper battles are very micro-intensive, but it takes a couple of quite substantial missteps in order to lose a Reaper to nothing, or to other Reapers, should I say, and therefore that's something that hopefully neither of those will do. As we've also got the barracks completing for both players, the gas now done, we will get revealed their plans shortly. What I'm really surprised about is I was really expecting Happy to go for some kind of proxy, considering it was a 2-base map, and I think just because it was one game up, and he could have taken the series quite quickly and easily. So it's still not off the cards though. He could chuck down something crazy. We'll wait to see.
Oh, and that SCV immediately getting out of there. Note that Happy did not get his SCV far enough into Daishi's base to see the presence of gas. So it is still possible that this might be a 1-Rax gasless expand as far as Happy is concerned. He hasn't gotten that full scout off, but then again, neither has his opponent. Dayshi actually hasn't scouted across the map at all right now, but, well, both sides are basically going for the exact same strategy. The factory timing almost identical to the second here, and we have the reactor coming down first from Dayshi.
Now, this is pretty much an identical build, albeit slight minor differences between them. That means that basically they should all come down to who can micro better, who's doing the better macro behind it. So that's what we've got to look out for. And of course, it's worth noting as well that I think something that we haven't mentioned is that the people who didn't qualify today, they do have 3 more opportunities to qualify for the WCS EU. Tomorrow, which is Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be casting, not personally, but this stream will be casting all of those qualifiers, so make sure you do tune in. And, well, back to the game, we can see that Command Center's coming down for both these two, who are apparently just copying each other.
Yeah, it looks like they are. I think, don't forget, when you're tired, you want to go back into the builds you know, definitely, for sure. And Happy is going into exactly the same style as we saw in that previous game. Unfortunately, though, missing a very crucial supply depot there at 27. And look at this, Dayshi already pulling ahead in supply. Still 10 painful seconds for Happy there as he basically gets unsupply blocked. A rather unfortunate situation, and that's allowed Dayshi to get ahead in the army count significantly here. Oh, and never mind, everything that he's queued up has just popped on at once.
Well, this is... Well, are we going to see Hellbats again? Because obviously
Yes,
Happy getting... Yeah, and I think Hellbats are a good choice, after all. They are really quite a solid thing to go for. They've had, in Game 3, a very detrimental effect to Daishi's economy, so I can see why Happy would want to do that again.
Now we have Hellions meeting each other out in the middle of the map. Now these two Hellions are going to see the ones from Happy. Happy actually opting to disengage from that watchtower just for a second. Everyone knows where everyone else is, but it's very difficult to make that first engagement. He's actually going to be falling back to where the Widow Mines are, which is a very smart move. It's unlikely that Dayshi will be able to travel much further, and now the barracks is popping in for a full scout off of Daishi's base. Oh, and sick micro from Dayshi there, getting the medevac count and immediately boosting it because he saw the barracks was coming in. Happy does not know this drop is incoming.
And of course, a drop that is not scouted is a drop that will likely do a lot of damage. Unless... are you sure it wasn't scouted? Because there are units getting pulled back here by Happy in the perfect position to deal with this. So I think it may have just been caught just by a pixel or two.
If he did, then I didn't see it. That was very close if it did. Very well played from Happy if he really did see that. But a lot of Hellions here are going to try and take out these Marines. Gashi getting a decent angle on them as well. A couple of these units getting low on health. I don't know if it's going to be possible. There are additional Hellions now streaming in from their natural location. 4 Hellions versus 2 Hellions plus a bunch of Marines. Crap, that was a fantastic shot off on that remaining Hellion, and it looks like this aggression from Dayshi is going to do considerable damage here in game number 4. Oh my god, those SCVs, those SC, oh my god, that is an absolutely ridiculous amount of bunching up they're doing. There needs to be so careful, and the Widow Mine being the hero here.
Yeah,
oh my god.
It's
He's so close. He's so close to killing so many.
They're so low, and some of them are starting to die now. Dayshi, Happy having to micro like absolutely mad. Dayshi does get his Hellions surrounded. Joe, I'm going to tell you the number. Dayshi there managed to kill 16 SCVs, taking the current count 13 to 30.
And I also want to point out, as Happy's barracks this game is actually going to go down as well, so not great times for him. I want to point out that until those last 2 Hellion shots, Happy lost 3 SCVs. Those last 2 shots killed all of them. Absolutely all of them. Fantastic play coming out of there from Dayshi. Very, very clutch, and it looks like 2 ships passing in the night, these 2 drops are going to move by each other, and yes, they do go to within each other's vision, so they both know it's coming.
And they both just happily are allowed to continue on their way. Dayshi doesn't really mind because he's got a Viking there that can start picking away at this medevac. The missile turret also on its way down. We see, though, that a Widow Mine did get burrowed, does get taken out with a nice little scam there. Meanwhile, the drop for Dayshi is actually pulling back now.
What? So he's pulling back to his main and then going back. I wonder if it's because he thinks that Happy has anticipated this drop, so he's pulling it back to tactically move it back in again, maybe 30 seconds later. But no, it has reversed direction. Perhaps it was just a misclick based on a control group. And now Happy's sending another drop in, but via the middle of the map this time so that it's less scoutable. So
this is really getting pretty tense now. Both players, well, Happy is actually quite a long way behind in terms of his work count. 24 to 38 of Dayshi. The bunker is doing some nice damage to this medevac that's boosting straight through into a missile turret. The Hellbats do get dropped out, though, and are starting to just really work their way through these SCVs. And SCVs do not like Hellbats, but Happy's attention is currently, and Dayshi's attention is currently on microing the Hellions in his opponent's base, doing some good damage there. The Hellbats are still going to town. Not any reaction out of Dayshi at his natural. Happy is able to clear up Dayshi in his main, and now with the Widow Mines, it seems that only 1 Hellbat will remain for the time being, but Happy managed to kill 12 workers there, but Dayshi has killed 22 this game so far, taking the current count 11 in the advantage of the Yellow Terran player.
That's right, 36 to 25 actually. That's quite a considerable number. A very low econ game we have here in game number 5. Can Happy close it out? It's looking very difficult considering Dayshi's supply lead at 65. Happy also slightly supply blocked at the moment once again on 54. Dayshi overall is just doing more damage with his drops this game, and that seems to make the difference, but Happy is going to double it up by the looks of things. Oh, and Dayshi loading up a drop just as 4 Hellbats come into the main base. That tank, though, is going to waltz straight on by. He needs to deal with this drop, and just for a second, all the units being very harmonious there, but the tank getting picked off is huge for Happy.
Absolutely sick micro with that Hellion, though, making sure that he wasn't able to get down the ramp. You see the Raven, though, is getting off a Seeker missile. The medevac pulling back, and Happy desperate to do as much damage as possible, but really not achieving very much here. The Hellbats for Dayshi able to clean it all out, and this is not what Happy would have wanted here.
No, it definitely isn't. The SCV's still trying to run around to make sure the Hellbats don't get a good shot off, except they do actually get a good shot off. And the number of workers killed is slowly evening up, 17 to 22 now, but Dayshi still with a 15 worker lead. He's been non-stop producing SCVs in the meantime, whereas I can't say the same for Happy, who I think has been struggling to micro these drops while having to defend against the pressure from Dayshi as well.
Happy coming in for another drop as well. We see that the drops yet again passing just quite happily, letting each other to go about their ways, both with 2 Hellbats in them. And, well, ultimately Happy is at a big disadvantage this game currently. He needs to deal some significant damage in order to level out this match. And actually, he's going to get a couple of SCV kills here.
They were bunching up just for a second there. Of course, these are Hellbats, not Hellions, so they're not lining up. They're bunching up. And it looks like a couple more SCV kills. The workers killed has actually gone 22 to 21 right now. Ooh, a little bit of lag, unfortunately, from one of the observers. And Dayshi having a lot of fun goading them there, but that problem has just left the game.
I like this chat. I'm a big fan of players chatting because I think it makes it seem like they're so much more interesting. But as we see here, we have got another drop coming in from Dayshi. Currently, this has been an SCV slaughter so far this game.
I think the players have secretly agreed, like the first person to 50 worker kills wins the game or something, because that just seems to be the case. We have another medevac full of 2 Hellbats over on the right-hand side from Dayshi, just waiting to come into the natural expansion of Happy as well, just lurking there on the very, very edge of the map. So we'll see if Dayshi chooses to move out. Yes, he is. He's boosted and he's moving into the natural now, so Happy is going to have to deal with a little bit more. Here come the 2 Hellbats, and it looks like the medevac's forfeit because he's just standing it there on top of the missile turret. Not much damage done. 27 to 21 workers killed. And now it's Happy's turn to drop once more. These guys are taking turns. This is actually like a Hellbat drop chess game.
It's very British of them, I must say. I know our overlays say having a tea break between games. Well, they're taking it in turns and queuing nicely for their drops to go down. The SCV's getting pulled instantly, though, there by Dayshi, so he's not going to lose too many. Happy will lose his medevac, so the Hellbats are somewhat trapped here. The tanks, all of the tanks, this might be slight overkill to deal with 2 Hellbats, but they are certainly going to die.
This is pretty close. For the first time in this game, Happy has taken the lead in the number of workers killed. It's 29 to 27 right now. I don't know if that gives him a lead in the overall sweepstakes here, but the problem is Dayshi has taken and is mining from his 3rd base. And even though the workers killed remains the same, his SCV production has just been more consistent. He's at 59 SCVs to 42 right now, and Dayshi's supply lead is slowly starting to grow. And look, we actually see him moving out now. He's saying, okay, I've bit bored now of trading drops with you. How about I just head into your base and kill you? Do you actually have enough to defend or mount a base trade?
Well, we'll wait to see what goes down. Meanwhile, 2-2 mech upgrades are absolutely equal for these 2 players, and that's something that is really rather shocking. We do as well have Dayshi getting a scan off, sees precisely what is the tank count, can I just push up this ramp and kill them? And that is a very important thing, because with this drop coming down, Happy's going to have a tough hold here.
Oh, he really is. Moving the medevac in for the drop. And Happy only sees... Oh, very nice tank drop there. And he's going to have more tanks on the low ground as well. He's going to very slowly shuttle his units in. And this is going to be in a tremendously difficult position. He needs to target down the siege tanks on the high ground to make sure they don't get within sieging range. And it looks like this might be the nail in the coffin here for Happy. GG! Dayshi wins game number